To Robert Brooke, Philadelphia, March 16th, 1795. Sir, ever since the General Assembly of Virginia were pleased to submit to my disposal 50 shares in the Potomac and 100 in the James River Company, it has been my anxious desire to appropriate them to an object most worthy of public regard. It is with indescribable regret that I have seen the youth of the United States migrating to foreign countries in order to acquire the higher branches of erudition and to obtain knowledge of the sciences. Although it would be injustice to many to pronounce the certainty of their imbibing maxims not congenial with republicanism, it must nevertheless be admitted that a serious danger is encountered by sending abroad among other political systems those who have not well learned the value of their own. The time is therefore come when a plan of universal education ought to be adopted in the United States. Not only do the exigencies of public and private life demand it, but if it should ever be apprehended that prejudice would be entertained in one part of the Union against another, an efficacious remedy will be to assemble the youth of every part under such circumstances as will, by the freedom of intercourse and collision of sentiment, give to their minds the direction of truth, philanthropy, and mutual conciliation. It has been represented that a university corresponding with these ideas is contemplated to be built in the federal city, and that it will receive considerable endowments. This position is so eligible from its centrality, so convenient to Virginia, by whose legislature the shares were granted, and in which part of the federal district stands and combines so many other conveniences, that I've determined to vest the Potomac shares in that university. Presuming it to be more agreeable to the General Assembly of Virginia that the shares in the James River Company should be reserved for a similar object in some part of that state, I intend to allot them for a seminary to be erected at such place as they shall deem most proper. I am disposed to believe that a seminary of learning upon an enlarged plan, but yet not coming up to the full idea of an university, is an institution to be preferred for the position which it is to be chosen. The students who wish to pursue the whole range of sciences may pass with advantage from the seminary to the university, and the former, by a due relation, may be rendered cooperative with the latter. I cannot, however, dissemble my opinion that if all the shares were conferred on an university, it would become far more important than when they are divided, and I have been constrained from concentring them in the same place, merely by my anxiety to reconcile a particular attention to Virginia with a great good in which she will abundantly share in common with the rest of the United States. I must beg the favor of your Excellency to lay this letter before that honorable body at their next session, in order that I may appropriate the James River shares to the place which they may prefer. They will at the same time again accept my acknowledgments for the opportunity with which they have favored me of attempting to supply so important a desideratum in the United States as an university, adequate to our necessity and preparatory seminary. With great consideration and respect, I am, sir, your most obedient, honorable servant, George Washington. To Robert Brooke, Philadelphia, 15th September, 1796. Sir, the Commonwealth of Virginia, having manifested their approbation of my design to apply the 100 shares in the James River Company, which they had before put at my disposal, to the use of a seminary, to be erected in such part of the state as they should deem most proper. And in consequence of this reference to their opinion, the legislature having requested me to appropriate them to a seminary at such place in the upper country as I should think most convenient to a majority of its inhabitants. After careful inquiries to ascertain that place, I have, upon the fullest consideration of all circumstances, destined those shares to the use of Liberty Hall Academy in Rockbridge County. It would seem to me proper that this determination should be promulgated by some official act of the Executive of Virginia, and the legislature may expect it for the purpose of general information. With due consideration and respect, I am, sir, your most obedient, honorable servant, George Washington. To Trustees of Washington Academy, Mount Vernon, 17th June, 1798. Gentlemen, unaccountable as it may seem, it is nevertheless true that the address with which you were pleased to honor me, dated 12th of April, never came to my hands until the 14th instant. To promote literature in the rising empire and to encourage the arts have ever been amongst the warmest wishes of my heart. And if the donation which the generosity of the legislature of the Commonwealth of Virginia has enabled me to bestow on Liberty Hall, now by your politeness called Washington Academy, is likely to prove a mean to accomplish these ends, it will contribute to the gratification of my desires. Sentiments like those which have flowed from your pen excite my gratitude, whilst I offer my best vows for the prosperity of the Academy and for the honor and happiness of those under whose auspices it is conducted. George Washington.